Hey everyone, welcome back to the sunny side. I'm Sunny, and today on Astro Q&A we have a great question from Ruhani. This question came up last night or yesterday on the live stream when we were doing the horoscopes, and I thought I'd share this one with you guys. Ruhani wants to know when her Saturn return is. Everybody cool? Everybody cool? It's not that silly of a question. And there's more to this question than meets the eye. She says, when is her Saturn return? So I'll show you on the chart exactly the date of her Saturn return. But there's something more that's deeper in this question and a little bit more involved. Most of you want to know things like how long or when will I feel the effects of this particular Saturn return? Right? Because of that, some people go through an extended Saturn return, and some people go through a very short Saturn return, or they don't feel the stress of the effects. And it has nothing necessarily to do with any of the other planets or aspects in this little lecture today, anyways. It has everything to do with the motion of the planet Saturn and direct applying versus separating aspects, which we talk about all the time. All right, next, let's get to the chart or whatever. There's also one little twist that I didn't mention that she actually has in her chart, and that would be, hey, Sunny, what happens if my Saturn is actually retrograde? When is my Saturn return if I have a Saturn retrograde? All right, which she does. Which she does. Everybody cool? Let's get down and check this thing out. Let's go help her out. All right, so here's the action. So that's her Saturn right down there. Right down there at 18 degrees Pisces. 18 degrees Pisces, and yeah, it's retrograde. So this is Ruhani's Saturn right here, and we'll put a line like that right there. So as transiting Saturn approaches Ruhani's natal Saturn, it's an applying aspect. It's applying all of this Saturn stuff. And usually when you're going through your Saturn return, it's a lot of hard work. Things are being taken away. A past life is being taken away, and a new life is emerging. And these lives have a lot of Saturn themes. But so as she's approaching, it's applying. As Saturn applies to the Saturn return, more and more of the past is being removed. So people from the past. Maybe she finishes her degree. Maybe she finishes her degree. Maybe she stops talking to some people. Maybe she changes her job. Maybe she moves. Okay, so that's separating, things being taken away from you. But at the same time, when people go through their Saturn returns, there's it applies, right? So Saturn takes away on one hand, and it also rewards hard work. So other things that could happen, and so you're taking away the old life for everyone, and you're building, right? Saturn, through hard work and determination and effort, creating the new life that you're going to enter into over here, and then it's going to become a separating aspect, and you're going to feel the effects less and less because you're not really overcoming this inertia to start that next section in your life. Everybody cool? These Saturn things happen at different times in your life. And there's a negative to it. It could take your life away. A lot of people commit suicide at their Saturn returns. But it's not just the Saturn returns. It's these Saturn aspects. So every 7 years. So 14-year-olds commit suicide. You know, there are big changes in life around 14. Big changes in life around 21, 28. You know, see your Saturn return around your 28th birthday. So this kind of stuff. So it really does herald or usher in a potential new section of your life. The problem is, as you lose all of that stuff from the past, like some people want to really hold on to it, but you can't. You can't really go back from a Saturn return or a Saturn transit. It's taken away. So you have to build and move forward. And so do it, man. Do it. Wherever it is in your chart, wherever Saturn is in your chart, build and move forward. And some things that Ruhani might do, she might get a new job, she might get married, she might change professions, she might go to a new university, she might go, like, there's so much she could do. It's so exciting. And there you go. All right, this says here she might change her job, right? It's in the second house of money. Something's going to happen to her money. Okay, so you guys get that. Applying aspects versus separating aspect. That's why the question of how long will I feel the effect of Saturn is different, right? It applying as it's taking away, as the aspect is applying, you're feeling it, and it's more and more intense. And then as it passes, you're not really feeling it as much because it's not taking away, and you're just doing the hard work necessary to continue to accumulate, to do your life purpose. All right, so next, before we go look at the dates, there's a little bit more. As we talk about the effects, there's a retrograde effect that's happening here. So as Saturn moves along in physical time, Saturn continued along this way, la 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 la, and then Saturn turned retrograde and came back. And when Saturn came back, that's actually when Rohani was born. All right, let's do it again. Saturn's coming in, la 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 la. All right, I'll show you something else. I know I just said Saturn, and I said Rohani was born, but that's not actually what's going to happen. Let me show you this. This 18 degrees Saturn is Saturn's placement, and this kind of has to do with shadow periods and things, but we're not talking about that today. We're just looking at dates and the extent of an applying aspect. So watch this. I know I just drew it like that, and it looks like la 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 Rohani's born, but that's not exactly what's going on. What's happening is Saturn is la 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 la, and in physical time it moves well past 18 degrees, and then it turns retrograde. It goes la 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 la, and then Rohani was born. So it's a very and then Saturn continued on retrograde, and then it went back and made another pass. That's a lot of Saturn energy. So for the question of how long do you feel the effect of the Saturn return? Oh my God, man, that girl's going to feel her Saturn return like it's like a bump that won't rub off. Like it's like holy smug or handy. Your Saturn returns are tough. So for anyone who goes through this is what I would call an extended Saturn return. And it's an intense thing, right? Whenever you are affected by the retrograde of a transit, it tends to last for a long time. You guys remember a while ago we had that Mars retrograde in Gemini, and Mars was in Gemini forever, and Geminis were getting punched in the face. Like that Jordan Poole Gemini guy got punched in the face, right? Mars in the first house, someone's gonna punch you in the face. Like that went on forever. So this thing for Rohani, whenever a retrograde is part of your thing, it's gonna be like, it's gonna drag ass for your thing. But there's a but. The but is you have more or an extended opportunity for success or for the rewards that Saturn will present to you. So you have even the potential for even more to be taken from you, right? If you have this type of Saturn in your chart, a retrograde Saturn like this, and you're going to go through this kind of transit, you probably have more than other people that can be taken away, whether you realize it or not. And Saturn's really going to do a number on you. But if you lay into the hard work side of it, you're going to come out so much farther than anyone else could possibly imagine. That's from my experience as an astrologer, as my experience as a living entity on this planet, whatever, man. So but I highly, without telling you stories. All right, next. So everybody gets it, everybody gets it, everybody gets it. That's how the retrograde work. That's applying aspects. That's applying aspects, separating aspects. That's what's going to happen during your Saturn return. It's what's going to happen after your Saturn return. It's how long you're going to feel the intensity of the Saturn return. And there's so much more to go with this, but we'll just leave it at that. Now, Rohani's Saturn return. Rohani's Saturn is at 18 degrees retrograde Pisces. So that's where Saturn has to be for her Saturn return to take place. Okay, you guys cool? Because that's what it is. That's what it is. Is everybody cool? If it wasn't retrograde, it would be the first pass. But it's retrograde, so it's the second pass. If it was the third pass, you would be born already. You would probably be. You know what? If it was the third pass, watch this. Watch this. This chart, okay, it's retrograde, so we know it's retrograde. But this chart, or anybody's chart, if Saturn, if that was scratched out like that, we know Saturn's moving in this direction, right? We know it's not retrograde, but we don't actually know if it had just, if it's in its shadow period or not, without really looking at an ephemeris and really looking. I'll give you another example. See how her Saturn is at 18 degrees and it's retrograde. Saturn's moving that way. So this is forward motion, and then the retrograde comes in. And now say Saturn comes back here and it's like at 19 degrees, right? Pisces moving forward. That's the shadow period, man. Well, I think it's the shadow period. We didn't do the whole thing, but I'm guessing it's the shadow period. And if it is, you wouldn't know by looking at this chart. Or any single chart like that. You'd have to look at the ephemeris. So heads up, man. You could have planets in your shadow, in the shadow period in your chart right now and not know. Maybe you're living the karma of your parents, or maybe you're living of the karma of the back seat of that car you were conceived, like whatever, man. But like, that's heavy fascination. Well, if you're into astrology, it is. All right, don't share the videos, please. I don't need the stress anymore, man. Okay, whatever. All right, next. All right, so let's go find some dates. Everybody cool? That's fascinating. So let's go find some dates. So we want to know. So you got a Rohani, so that's the deal. Applying aspect, it's going to apply for a while, and you're going to go, ah, and then it's going to go retrograde, and you're going to go, ah, and then once it goes retrograde, that's your Saturn return. So on the chart, okay, so once again, it's going to come in like this, it's going to go retrograde, and then it's going to come around like this, and it's going to come back. This one right here, that's your Saturn return. So although it looks on the chart, on this piece of screen paper, it looks like it has all of this kind of thing happening like that, it doesn't. This part of the journey right here, all of this part of the journey of Saturn, that even though it's might still be retrograde, even though it's in a shadow kind of thing, all that kind of stuff, it's not shadow, it's retrograde, right? Even though it's doing all of that kind of stuff, it's still for you considered a separating aspect. So you will be revisiting all of this stuff in physical time, but Saturn's a separating aspect. It won't be as intense when you revisit that, like revisiting your old boss, or revisiting an old boyfriend, or revisiting some old thing, right? So it's not going to be as intense as it was when Saturn was moving this way. All right, let's figure out some dates. So, hey, Sunny, so that's the deal. So you guys now know applying aspects, separating aspects. This is really important when it comes to anything. You know that you might have some planets in the shadow and you don't even know about it. What else do we know? We know the path of Saturn during a retrograde period. We know what a retrograde thing is. Retrograde Saturn, Saturn return, blah, blah, blah. The energy applying, separating. Any other questions, leave in the comment section. Here we go. Rohani, 18 degrees retrograde Pisces is what we are looking for. Let's see it. All right, here we go. 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, it did it. Hey, look at this. Here's the first pass. So in May of 2024, like right, I guess soon. Look at this. Right here, May 19th. Let me bring this down for you guys. May 19th, 2024. Oops. Saturn will make its first pass in this direction. Remember, Saturn has to make a pass in this direction. Saturn will make its first pass in this direction in May 19th, 2024. May 19th. All right, next. Okay, it's right here. Now we're going to keep moving forward. Oh, wow, it's just going to, and then it goes to 19, and then it turns retrograde at 19. Turns red, retrograde at 19. And then let's move it back. So 19 on the other side is the shadow, right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, next, like 18, we'll see, there's more shadow here. Okay, next. So you can see right here, on June 30th, goes retrograde. June 30th, retrograde. All right, 19 degrees. I know, my videos are long-winded. Everybody chill out, man. Here, I'll go like this. Do, 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 do. And then technically and officially, right there, 18, 17. Technically, officially, right here, all the way down to the minute, Rouhani's. So look at this. 18, 17, 18, 19, it's pretty, or 18, 16, 19, 16. I have Rouhani's Saturn return technically taking place, officially taking place August 6th, 2024. Guys, got it? Does that make sense? See how it's red? Whoops. Oh, man. See how it's red? And that's red, and it's all, and it's lines up. That's your Saturn return. You can make it a couple other dates, right? Like we could back it up a little because it's going to be, it takes a little bit of time. All right, so if you wanted to do it for a little bit more fun, we would say like July 23rd. It starts at July 23rd, and then it goes all the way down to July 23rd to August 12th. So I would say July 23rd to Aug 12th. Right? And that's how long it's going to take for Saturn to cross that 1 degree. It's going to take that long. Everybody cool? And it's going to peak on that date that I said. I'll tell you once again. It's going to peak on this day right here. It's going to peak on August 6th. August 7th has gone a little too far. August 6th. All right, guys, I hope that helps. It's a lot of fun. Oh, man, this was a long video. Freak sucks. Okay. All right, wishing everybody the best of a super amazing day. I'll see you guys soon.